It's gotta be around here someplace. Ugh, I don't believe this. How could you lose the remote?
What makes you so sure I lost it?
'Cause you're you,
Hey, just because I lost that video game,
and the toothpaste, and my football, and the waffle iron.
things disappear. How am I supposed to know where they go?
Well, how am I supposed to watch TV without a remote?
Simple. You just get up and change the channel.
Don't even joke like that.
I wasn't joking.
Good, 'cause it wasn't funny. Now either help us look for the remote or go back to
This
your
is
nasty
a
old
pointless
book and...
argument over a useless device.
And we are live. We're back for another draw stream, and today we're going to be working on little Jinx here. We got a little witch Jinx we're kind of working on here. Kind of continuing our Halloween theme that we've chosen. Last weekend we obviously did Beast Boy or Witch Raven with a little Beast Boy. And so, yeah, today we're going to be working on Jinx. Just get the chat open up here. It's been a little while. And I see Grumpy. How's it going, man? Jinx Day. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, yeah, this was a lot of fun to actually kind of put together. It took me a little while to actually figure out this pose here, actually. So I knew I wanted to have like a cauldron with her, like kind of stirring the pot, so to speak, you know. So I kind of, what about this way? I actually need to do a thing here. Just need to cover that up. And I haven't really fully decided what color I want the sort of ooze kind of coming out of the cauldron to be. So I'm leaning more towards like a green. So I think that the green with her pink kind of look very, very, I think it'll stand out a lot. But we'll see. The way this kind of works is that I kind of like just kind of wing it when it comes to the background and stuff like that. After I've kind of done the actual character, because I think the background will kind of speak for itself once the figure itself is kind of spoken for, so to speak. So without further ado, we'll just get started on the skin tones. And I think we'll start with, now her and Raven kind of have a similar gray sort of, who's texting me? I gotta say. So she and Raven have kind of a similar skin tone. Now, the way I kind of make them a little bit different is for Raven, I use actually cool grays for her grays. But for Jinx, I'm going to be using toner grays. Just kind of add a little bit of a difference between them. So I have like these toner grays right here. I think that's what we're kind of start off with. We're going to start with the toner gray 0. Just kind of lay in a base sort of color for everything. Will kind of move on from there. So sort of the hands. Do a little shadow. This finger. Oop. Chat bunch of markers around. Won't be any sort of light casting here because the shadow of the cloak or the sleeve or whatever. As well as the actual cauldron here. But yeah, it's kind of a very, very difficult sort of pose to kind of figure out for me. But it was a lot of fun once I finally figured it out. I actually kind of thought about putting like a little, like maybe a little cyborg or Kid Flash and maybe a mammoth or a gizmo like in the corners here. But I just didn't really have enough time to really work that in. Just had like little, like she's like kind of like torturing their souls or whatever, you know. Just kind of add a little bit to the witch element. And she already kind of has like a witch sort of look to her anyway, so it kind of like Raven, and she was very, very easy. It's basically her regular design, just a little bit more stylized, a little bit. Although I will probably have to change up the necklace here. That's right. That's here. Because in the cartoon, it's actually kind of just an oval shape to it. And oh, she's a collar. I have to notice that. But no, maybe I'll just keep it. We'll keep it like that. We'll just keep the necklace the way it is. Add a little bit extra detail, make it a little bit different from the actual original cartoon model. She's dressing up, so she can be a little bit different. I think we'll just leave that. It's not that big of a deal anyways. We'll add a little bit extra little highlights showing off on the neckline. That would make room for some like lighting effects if we ever want to add them in as we're doing the background. Or once we get to the background, anyways. Do her chin there. Do around her eyes. I'll probably add like a little bit extra eyeshadow around her eyes. Maybe like a purple or something. Yeah, I totally forgot to get some Jinx clips up actually. Forgot, but I kind of went with the final exam clip at the very beginning. So that was where she made her debut episode, along with the rest of the Hive Academy. So the only clip I had that was kind of fitting for her. All right. It doesn't have any lipstick, at least in the cartoon model, so I'll probably have to do something different with that. I'm thinking like pink or maybe purple lips. We'll see. Actually, I think pink will look better because it looks better when you have like the hair and the lips kind of the same sort of color a lot of times. Especially with the character like this expressive, you know. Let's get our other ear. Obviously, next weekend we'll be doing the Starfire and Blackfire pieces. Kind of finish off the witch theme, and then we'll kind of do the whole group shot. I think the 28th is what will be the last. The last Saturday in October here. And I haven't really decided if I'll be actually doing the pumpkin stream. Something that will work out this year anyways. So I might be working, might not. I haven't fully decided yet. I'm going to commit to that or not. Okay, trying to leave her, I guess her cheeks here, kind of blank, or her under eyes rather, because she has like a little like more expressive sort of like oval like blush on her cheeks. So I want to kind of keep that in mind. Let's get her other hand here. thumb. Okay, let's pull a BV31. Just gonna add a little bit of a purplish tint to her. Just gonna make it a little more expressive. I'll probably add like a little bit of like a violet red in just a minute. I'll probably just do that just kind of high or kind of. I don't know. I think we'll do the. You know, we'll do the blush at the end. Let me get the main bulk of the skin tones going here. And after this, we'll kind of bring in a tone grade 1. Blend these 3 colors together. Then kind of end it off with a T0. Hey, CJ. How's it going, man? I'm watching porn as a teenager all over. Oh, yes, everybody. Let me know, guys, if the screen goes a little fuzzy, because it does that a lot, for whatever reason for me. But how are you doing, CJ? Good to see you. Trying to be careful not to get her eyebrows. Although the cartoon doesn't really have any eyebrows, but whatever. Give her some here. Because I think her eyebrows are all covered up by her hair. But not this time. Taking liberties. Yeah, it's all good. As long as we get the spirit of the character, you know. Says something live. Oh, that's weird. Okay, it's not lore for me. Yeah, so okay, so Jinx, in the comics, she's a little bit different. I don't know too much about her from the comics, but in the cartoon, Teen Titans cartoon, she's part of the Hive Academy, which is kind of like this villain organization that's kind of trying to recruit younger sort of villains, like, you know, teenagers and stuff like that. It's kind of like the opposite of like the Teen Titans, essentially, in the series. And she was kind of like the main sort of leader of the Hive. Until she eventually, you know, decided she didn't want to be a villain anymore. Because, you know, people like Wally West kind of telling her, knock that shit off. So, yeah, she has a weird sort of power set, though. Like, she's kind of like, she kind of has, it's kind of like Domino from Marvel, where she kind of jinxes people, gives them bad luck, essentially. Or, well, in Domino's case, I think she gets like good luck or something like that. That's how her power kind of works, I guess. I don't know much about Domino either. So, yeah, she had a very, very different design in the original comics. But I prefer the cartoon look. I think it's cooler. Didn't read that much DC, barely at all, really. That was more my mom's thing. Ah, gotcha. Yeah. The Hive rings a bell. Yeah. Yeah, they were like one of the main villains for the Titans that fight most throughout the entire series, so. But yeah, eventually she kind of kind of grew a fondness for Walt when they were interacting in that one episode where they actually brought back Michael Rosenbaum to play Flash in that episode, which was really cool. And he kind of talked her out of, continue her life of crime and decided to be a hero and stuff. So, Now I didn't really get to see her them continue that story because the show got canceled after season 5. Didn't watch Teen Titans though. Don't remember them at all. Yeah, it was a good show. It was a good show. It was one of my favorite cartoons growing up. So I have a really great fondness for the Titans. So that's kind of why I've been doing a lot of Teen Titans stuff lately. But I might change it up pretty soon because I think I've been doing a little bit too much. It's like it's time to shake things up here on the channel. So I'm doing so many. I've done so much Raven, did so much Beast Boy, did a Robin, did a cool group shot, did a Jinx, and another Jinx before this one, which was a normal Jinx. This is my Halloween variant. Did a Starfire, did a Blackfire, did a Deathstroke. So yeah, I think it might be time for something new on the channel here because the spice is life, you know. Yeah, I think why is my pen? I think my pen's dying. I thought I freaking charged them up, or pretty sure I refueled them last weekend. Room must just be too dry for them to stay alive. She loved her Green Arrow before they aged him. Yeah. Yeah, I really love the Green Arrow, especially in the Justice League cartoon. He's a really good character in that. And he was fine too in Young Justice. He was all right. Although I never really watched Young Justice nearly as much as I did Teen Titans. Just I don't know, something about it just wasn't nearly as special to me. Yeah, I always felt like even though they had more characters and more stuff to do, like I felt like they did more with less in the Teen Titans because in Teen Titans cartoon they never really had any big like crossovers with any of the big DC characters. They just focused on their main 5 heroes. And occasionally they would bring in like a guest character like Aqualad or Wally or something. It wasn't until like season 5 where they kind of started really branching out with bringing more Titans and stuff like that into the show because they were more. First 4 seasons they were kind of very much more interested in kind of developing the main 5, and as a result they became very, very popular characters. You know, it's like we still have Teen Titans Go going, which isn't really all that great of a show, but just shows that how popular those characters were just because of how well written they were for their time and how impactful they were. You know, like because those 5 characters were Beast Boy, Raven, Starfire, Cyborg, Robin, like they all were very, very well developed characters in the show, and so we never really got like a Batman coming. Now there were some mentions of Batman, like kind of references here and there, but it was never direct. We never got a direct appearance from him. I thought that was actually kind of a good thing in my opinion because I think that you don't you don't need Batman to like kind of you don't have to rely on Batman in every series, every movie or whatever, because like there's so many great DC characters out there. I'm not trying to knock Batman; he's my favorite DC character of all time. But it's just like I think that they've kind of gotten to the point where it's like they only rely on Batman for everything they do now, and I think that there's a lot of great characters in DC Universe aside from Batman that don't really get a whole lot of love, and that's what I kind of really respect about Teen Titans is that they never felt the need to do that because they believed in their characters. They believed in Beast Boy, Raven, and Cyborg, and all them. Like they believed in those characters, and sadly, we don't really see that as much anymore because we get stuff like the Flash movie where it's like all it is just nostalgia bait. The movie, it's like they just bring in the Tim Burton Batman. We bring in the Michael Keaton Batman. We bring in Nicolas Cage Superman. It's just like Christopher Reeves and all these cameos of the movie. And it's just like it's like stupid shit. I'd be like relying on Iron Man. Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, there's so many different characters. Like that's what I really hate about the Spider-Man movies, that they made him so reliant on Tony Stark, you know, to be a hero and all that. And it's just like it's like Spider-Man never needed Tony Stark to be a hero or to do what he does. You know, I'm okay with him being a little bit more, having a mentor figure like Captain America or something like that, but Spider-Man is a character who can stands on his own, like without the Avengers and stuff like that. He's bigger than the Avengers, like, you know. So it's just like, and not in terms of like, you know, in terms of like power level or whatever, but in terms of just like being more popular and more well known and stuff like that. It's like he's a character that doesn't need to be you know, held back by the other Marvel characters at all. So it's just kind of weird to me. With cameo in the movie, the Love Boat did it well. Yeah, I mean, if it was done well, but it's just like, I just don't really. I'm just like really sick and tired of like the whole multiverse stuff in general for both DC and Marvel. Like, it can work. It just depends on how well you pull it off, and if it's just not forced and whatnot with the way. And you know, it's just. That's one of the things that they did really well with the Justice League cartoon, actually, because they did have some Elseworld storylines, but it made sense and it was well written, and they already, and because the series, because the DCAU started by Bruce Timm and Paul Dini, they already had a very clear foundation for the Transformers franchise. You know, like, you know, it's like. Or not Transformers, for the DC universe. Sorry, I'm just blanking out right now, saying a bunch of things. They had a very clear understanding of DC characters. You know, that when they started off with the Batman animated series, Superman animated series, Static Shock, all these shows, then they came in with Justice League, and that's when they brought all these characters together, and that's why you could have like stuff like the Justice Lords episode or the Vandal Savage, where they go back in time, where basically Vandal Savage went back in time to make sure that the Nazis actually won World War II, and so you had him kind of conquering the America and all that, and they're kind of like in this very post-apocalyptic world. But you can do that because you already established the key characters. You haven't deconstructed everything from the ground up. That's why the DC universe on film just didn't work out. That's why the DC films were doomed to fail from the start, is because they started off with a deconstruction of like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and so it's already basically an Elseworld story, you know, because it's not the DC universe as it's supposed to be, you know. So that's why the films ultimately failed. You know, that's why they've been falling apart for the last couple of years now, and it's been dying ever since Man of Steel started, you know. They just don't really know what to do with these characters anymore. They never really understood what to do with these characters to begin with. Because like if you look back, even back when you know, Tim Burton was in the Batman films, they wanted him to be the one to do Superman, and it's just like this mindset of like, you know, just doing being director driven instead of character driven or franchise driven rather. You know, is just the mentality they always had, because it's like, oh, well, you know, Tim Burton did a great Batman movie. Let's go and do Superman, because obviously Batman and Superman are the same characters. So obviously, it's like, oh, they're the same thing. You know, so it's like, oh, it'd be just fine, you know, on a Batman movie. And it's just like, well, it's like, you know, it's like, where do you get that? It's like Batman's supposed to be a gothic detective story, and then you have Superman, who's supposed to be this very warm, sort of hopeful, inspiring sort of character, and have his whole world sort of reflect that. Like, that's what Superman's supposed to be about. And it's just like, oh, we're gonna get someone who's known for doing gothic sort of storytelling to do Superman. It's just like, no. And then they continue that mindset with Christopher Nolan when they had when he did those Dark Knight films, and then they were like, oh, let's get Chris Nolan to do Superman because he did those great Batman movies, because that style of Batman movies totally would fit with Superman. It's like, oh, let's get him and Zack Snyder do a Superman movie, and end up being a very deconstructed mess, you know, of a film where they didn't understand the character at all. And as a result, you know, the films just started falling apart ever since then, you know, because the vision from the very get-go was horrible. from the ground up. So DC is always such an interconnected. DC universe is always completely disorganized every time they tried. Yeah. They have the same trajectory as the X-Men movies. Worked for first two, and then yeah, exactly. Well, that's why the films never worked from the get-go, because they start off with the destruction of Superman, which you can't have the DC universe without Superman. Like it's like having it's like taking, like, imagine if like the first Marvel movie they had they did like Nazi Captain America from the comics. It's kind of like that, like where you're kind of just starting off with a deconstructed version of that character and then trying to build a universe around it. It doesn't work that way. You have to have the character fully established before you do that, because otherwise I'm not going to care. Like that's why the DC animated universe back in the early 2000s worked so well, is because they already established Batman and Superman, and some of the other characters like Flash was kind of got a cameo episode in the Superman cartoon. Aquaman got a scene in there, and I think that Jon Stewart Green Lantern was in Static Shock for a little bit as well. So if I remember correctly. But they did their job in establishing these characters in this lore, and so when you did stuff like those more, those Elseworld stories, it worked, because it wasn't just them trying to deconstruct the characters for the sake of deconstructing them. Like, no, they made sure to establish the characters first and foremost before doing those crazy storylines, But when you start off with that storyline, it doesn't really work nearly as well. Trying to kind of add a little bit of a pink sort of hue to her face. It's going to be very important later on once I do the effects and stuff like that. So I want to have the light sort of reflect on her skin tones here. A little bit on her nose, a little on the lips, chin. But yeah, I'm just kind of sick and tired of like the multiverse storylines in general. I just think that it's just overplayed. It's just like, can we just like get one like good storyline with like a good Batman story? Or like I don't need like a million Batmans on screen. Like just give me one good Batman to follow on the films or in the comics or whatever. It's just like I just get bored when I see like a million Batmans on screen. It's like, oh, because at this point there's no stakes anymore. It's like, oh well, Batman's alive in this universe, so it's like, why would I care if he dies in the normal one or whatever? It's like, oh well. So it's just one of those things where it's just like, what's the point? Just kind of pointless to me. But all right, grab. Okay, you're dead. You replace your. Yeah, this happened a while ago actually. My brush tip. I'll show you like a normal brush tip. Like this is a normal one, and then one day I was using this guy, and then for some reason this guy just fell apart on me. So I think I have to do one, or I have to replace the tip at some point. Yeah, that's why I never bothered with the Ultimate Universe and Marvel. Yeah. Do a little bit. I'll mix it purplish, do a purplish pink sort of tone here for the eyes. Over. For which side what I want to do for the eyeshadow. I'll go purple. Okay. Okay. Bring in some grayish lavender color, so it's kind of like a grayish purple, which I use a lot, especially for Raven. For Raven, I like to do a little bit extra with her skin tones. I like to make, because normally she has a very dull sort of gray, but I like a little bit of a extra flavor to it, so to speak. It makes it pop a bit more. Just do a little bit with the face here because Jinx has a very, very pale sort of a skin tone. I don't want to do too much here. But yeah, never actually got into the X-Men films. Never watched them. Aside from like the Deadpool movies, there's only Marvel or the only X-Men films I ever watched. Just because, like, for me, I'm more of the '90s X-Men cartoon style. So it's like, so I was like, I just saw the costume designs. I was like, I'm not interested. It's just like, yeah, they don't look like the characters to me. I like the '90s look the most. Apparently, like, you know. From what I understand, like Bryan Singer prevented some of the actors from actually reading the comics because he wanted to do his own take on the X-Men, which I really despise in a lot of directors who kind of think that they're better than the comics. But all right, T1. What's up with you? Oh shit, you're dying. Okay, let me pull some neutral grays then. Or not, he'll pull a cool grays. Normally I say the cool grays for Raven, but I think I might need to use them for her just this once here. Because that's how I kind of make a Raven and Jinx a little bit different. I use cool grays for Raven to give her more of a kind of emphasize the purples a little bit in her skin tone, but also kind of, and then for Jinx here, I usually use toner grays, but the toner gray is dying, so I kind of make a little sacrifice here. But it should all work out just fine. Okay. Add some shadows here as well. Go around the neckline. As well as around the necklace, give it a little bit of a shadow casting on her. Do our finger. Like I said, we'll just do a little bit. All right. Pin drop, yeah. Oh, there's actually kind of news actually for Transformers fans actually that we might be getting the War for Cybertron Falls Transformers games coming out pretty soon for the Xbox Store because the deal between Hasbro, Activision, and Microsoft I think went through, so we might be able to get the games back pretty soon at some point. So that'll be a lot of fun. And if that does happen, I will do a stream of those because I can only do streams using the Xbox Twitch app because I have an Elgato, but it doesn't work very well on my computer. It doesn't really run very well, but because my computer's not really built for streaming, like it's hard enough to actually do a draw stream as it is because of the way it runs like shit. But I can do it with Twitch, the Twitch apps. So if I get this game, so the games do come out, I'll probably do a stream for them because I really do want to go through those games and actually kind of talk about the storyline, talk about it'd be a really good way to kind of explain a bit more about how the aligned continuity sort of works in the Transformers stuff. So I managed to mess things up again. Yeah. Well, all you have to do is just re-release the games with better graphics, which honestly, the games already had really good graphics, especially Fall Cybertron. So all they do is just add like a palette or just clean up the palette, and that's all we need. Yeah, that's all I need. Because the games are perfect in my opinion. Not perfect. Obviously, there's some things that would change, but perfect enough. Yeah. So many different callbacks to the original cartoon in those games. Yeah, there's a lot of fun to play. Hopefully they actually reopen the servers as well. That'd be really cool to see that because the multiplayer was a lot of fun, especially escalation mode for both games was a lot of fun. So hopefully Activision doesn't fuck it up. You know what? Grace. It's all good. Hey, Power. How's it going, man? Oh, I'm talking about their current legal battles. Yeah. But that will be cool if we actually get the games back. It's a lot of fun. Not exactly clear if we'll ever get the multiplayer back though, because I was there actually. I was at the very last end of those games, like playing those games, right up until the servers finally got cut off. So it was a pretty sad day, but because they just didn't really have enough players actually playing the game, which was kind of a bummer. But I kind of cut the servers off. But hopefully, maybe if they bring this game back, maybe that'll kind of inspire some more players to come back in. Because those are really, really good games. They're a lot of fun. Although Hyman kind of did bring it on themselves, they didn't really do much with the game with Fall of Cybertron afterwards. You know? Like, I think that if they maybe added some more story DLC or something like that, like, I think that could have maybe piqued more interest, add more characters, add more missions, added more locations to play in. I think that maybe that could have like helped keep the servers up. I don't know. Not really the biggest gamer, so I don't know how all that works necessarily, but I mean, there's got to be some way they could have kept the servers up, but that's just me hoping. But like the only way you can actually play, there's actually kind of a way you can play those games, and that's I think there's like some sort of So I think someone on Discord actually kind of made it so you can actually get back into the servers or something like that. So I'm not too sure. But I'm not too sure about how to get into that necessarily. I ain't no tech whiz, but apparently if you play the PC version, and I think there might be a way to kind of get the servers back up, but I don't have the PC version, and my computers are not equipped for any of that stuff, so kind of out of luck there. For now, anyways. All right. All right, I think we'll move on to the little blush effects. So, oval. Try to look at the oval style. So I have multiple of these little sheets here. You might be too big. Just here. That's too big. Maybe too small. Yeah. That might be a good size. Ooh. No, it's still small. These guys. They're very like skinny sort of ovals on her. Ooh, that might work. Kind of at angles, an angle there. Yeah, we'll do this one. Okay, now we're going to beat RV23. And let's go right there. Okay. There we go. It's a little off. That's okay. Probably lighten that up with a blender just a minute. Maybe a little bit too big. But okay, blender in. And it's a little too reddish for my liking here. You know, come in with a little lighter shade of pink. You know, kind of fix that up. Not too bad though. Not too bad. I might have been a little too big. My liking here. But it's kind of a good thing about using a blender. It's kind of acts as a little bit of a eraser in a sense. So it helps like push back colors if you ever make a mistake or whatnot. Got my T0, just kind of clean that up. And we'll okay, I'll bring in part 20. No. This guy. Okay. And now I'm just kind of go in and go over it with a little bit of some grays, just kind of make it a little bit smaller of a shade here, as much as one can. I'll grab my C2 wet. Oh, C1. Okay. Not sure I'm liking this. Might just like wait and do the blushes with the Poscos. All right. Yeah, we'll do that. That'll make the most sense here. I think I kind of messed it up. Oh, hopefully once I get the rest of it colored, it'll kind of make more sense. Not that big of a deal here. All right, so some of the grays. So I might as well do all the blacks now. I want to get the hair started real quick, so I'm going to do that in this. Got a few extra shades, make it more vibrant. And 19, oh, 19 or 17, it's not working. Yeah, it's my 19. What's wrong with you? Your new markers. What kind of new? Oh, well, the 17's working. All right, so we'll start with a very light shade. It's very bright pink hair, so. Start by highlighting all the shadows. Now, let's kind of go with me. I like to leave a little bit extra, sort of little white, like highlights in the hair, especially for like pink hair, stuff like that. Let's get moving. No worries, CJ. I'll see you around then. It was good having you. Hope to see you later. But if not, it's all good. All right. So I'm just going to kind of sculpt in some little hair lines almost in her hair. Kind of like I did last time when I drew her. Around here, we can kind of go all the way. It's going to be covered by shadows. And she doesn't have any lip color in the show. Hey, Grumpy, welcome back, man. Good to see you. Not really gonna worry too much about the earrings here, so I'll probably go over them with some. I don't know. I'm gonna decide what color I'll be doing them. Maybe purple or something. I haven't fully committed to either one. Cool. I think I did pink lips actually last time. I did a Jinx. I'm mistaken, or was it a? Might have been like a reddish pink. Or, I can't remember for life of me. I think we'll do a pink though for her lips again. I think it'll like look best here. I think we'll do pink nail as well. Just grab them real quick. Yeah, because I mean, that would pop out a bit more once you get the darker sort of costume going. Costume? Am I Boston now? Costume. You know, I'm so disappointed that Batman did not have a Boston accent in when Batfleck played him. That might have saved that movie for me if he had a Boston accent, Batman. Oi, Robin. Into the Bat Cave. Yeah. The Bat Cave. All right. Start building the shadows up here. Darken you. you. Darken you. The best way to do lighter sort of colored hair is start light to dark. Just build the shadows. I might try something a little bit different though with the hair in just a minute. Let's get this last shade going. I just follow the same sort of patterns. Batman has thigh highs on and is running around a little kid like it's it's not a Batman cartoon coming out. Oh no, I have not seen that. I don't plan to anyway. I don't plan to after hearing that description. Sounds weird. And we'll go with pink lips. Decision's been made. I think it works best. Okay, now I'm going to bring the violet, or it's not like a violet, what's it called? Lilac, whatever. Same thing. Just add little strokes of this kind of purplish pink color. It helps add a little bit extra depth to her. Not since the Great Resignation of Comics and Doctor Who has any of the there's Zero Hope for America. Yeah. It's sad. It's really sad. I think we're going now. All right. This guy died on me, so we have to kind of ship with that color. But that's okay. We have an alternative. I would have had to be put on about, but I'm actually home and even stream last night. Nice, dude. Yeah, I saw that. I was just fucking tired last night. I was doing a lot of stuff last night. Oh, and I was actually kind of doing a little bit of planning for December. I was actually trying to keep to take you up on that idea last week where you said to do like a little comic book strip or whatever for Teen Titans Christmas or whatever. I actually kind of came up with a few ideas that might work. However, I'm not too sure if I have enough time to make it because there's a lot that goes into making a comic book. You need to kind of write the script, and then to kind of do a page planning, kind of layouts and all that. So that's something I'm not too sure if I will be able to get to this year, but maybe next year. I think this year we're just going to do the regular sort of Christmas piece, I think. So I don't know if I have enough time to work on a full, because I don't know. Depends. But like the story I had in mind was something I came up with where it would kind of be not really the Grinch story, but it would be kind of similar where it's like you have Raven, right? Because I imagine Raven's not someone who's really big on the holiday season, right? And so I think that would be kind of interesting to have her learn the spirit of Christmas through Beast Boy, and I kind of got this idea. Actually, I got this idea from a YouTuber, actually. At least the content of the story. I got this idea from a YouTuber who his name was Ragin Nation, and he basically went one day. It's like a long time ago. It was like way back when I think the third Transformers movie came out. It was around that time, and he went to Walmart or Toys R Us or whatever because they had a big sale on for Transformers toys. And so he went and he bought like a bunch of toys, and he went around. And so he went to a mall and like kind of gave them out to little kids around the mall and stuff like that. So that kind of like sparked the idea for this, where it's like I have like Beast Boy going to like an orphanage or something like that, because I think that would make sense for Beast Boy to kind of visit that because he was kind of an orphan. And so I think that would be kind of a neat way to kind of have him bond with Raven. Like maybe he like invites her along and he like help hand out like toys or something like that to kids or something like that. I think that'd be kind of a very sweet sort of a story to tell. Like it. Yeah, it might be a little better to plan ideas now. But that's kind of like the idea to have like a story where she, maybe like the reason why she's not really fond of Christmas was because she didn't really feel like she had a family. But then Beast Boy kind of reminds her or tells her that a family can come in many different shapes and sizes, because we see that. So that would be, and Beast Boy would probably be the best person to teach her that lesson, because he's been through. Well, for those that don't know in the comics, Beast Boy's been through a lot of shit. Like he's been through, he lost his parents. I think it was like at one point, I can't remember if this was before or after he got with his uncle, but I think that right after his parents died, he got captured and he was kind of forced to commit crimes for these criminals and stuff like that before they eventually got caught. And then I think that's when he got adopted by his uncle, who also kind of tried to have him killed because he wanted to inherit. Because Beast Boy, his parents were well off, right? They were very well off scientists, and so they had a massive fortune in his name. And so when I think it was when he turned 18 when he was going to be able to have it, but can't remember for certain. But basically, yeah, I might be doing a little too much here. Hold on. But yeah, basically his uncle tried to have him assassinated essentially, and that's when the Doom Patrol kind of stepped in and rescued him and kind of took him in under their wing. Well, like Beast Boy, but why I say Beast Boy would be perfect for that kind of story to teach Raven that there's more than one way to have a family or whatever. You know, because he already had that sort of idea, you know, or that, you know, he kind of had that with the Doom Patrol. You know, like the Doom Patrol kind of became his surrogate family for a time before eventually they had a falling out with Mento, because he was kind of, because basically Beast Boy, because the way the Doom Patrol kind of worked was that the Doom Patrol were very, very militant, like a very militant version of like the Justice League. You know, they were very, very strict. They had a very rigid morals. Like they were very much mission first, like safety last, like sort of a mentality. Like they were more concerned with the mission rather than the individual lives of the teammates. And so like Mento was like perfectly willing to sacrifice himself as well as his other teammates in order to get the mission done against the Brotherhood of Evil. And Beast Boy, because he's already lost one family, he wasn't really prepared to lose another. And so that's what kind of drew him apart. That's what kind of drew him apart from the Doom Patrol, I think, was, at least that's kind of the way I kind of see it, is more him not wanting to be a part of a team where he has to make that kind of decision between saving his family versus fighting the bad guy, you know. That's what kind of drew him away from the Doom Patrol, and then which led him to his one true family, which was the Teen Titans. So, at least that's how I kind of see that character. Stories that make sense in their universe is how we can go sort of way up in skill and ability. Yeah, exactly. Myself, bit of playing in. I read that 5 pages till one here covered. Yeah, that's kind of how you do it. You know, to kind of just like experiment. Like, yeah, I do think that fan fiction writing does like get a bad rap because there are like the weirdos out there. Because there are actually, because it's like, you know, because technically what I did back in my day when I was doing my Lego stop motions, that was basically fan fiction in a sense, but I did it but I think it's in the spirit of which you do fan fiction. I think that's the most important. You know, I think that if you're just doing it to mess around or whatever, like it's kind of like, I mean, it's like whatever. I don't necessarily find it all that appalling. To me, it's like harmless, you know, to me most of the time. But the better ones tend to be the ones where they actually try to really, you know, evoke the original storyline. Like if they like do a Teen Titans one, they like try to make sure they mimic like the style, the arts, the sort of the style of writing from the actual cartoon itself. Like that stuff. Those tend to be the better ones to actually read because they actually give a shit, you know. So, and for me, when I did my stop motion, I was back when I was very, very young and didn't really know the lore nearly as much. But my intention was initially to create the very best version of those characters I could. You know, when I did my DC stuff back then, which maybe I'll repost them on this channel at some point. Maybe we'll see. Might be too embarrassed to post them here, but because they are a bit dated, in my opinion. But I like it. I agree. You know. Well, actually, I do have some 11 by 17 paper. I'll show it off real quick. I've been holding on to this for fucking years, actually, in case I decide to make a comic book. It's at the very fucking bottom of my paper set. I actually got this Bristol paper that's meant specifically for drawing comic books. If you open it up, which has all the correct like dimensions and stuff like that for when you do the actual comic itself. It's hard to see actually. Hold on. It's a little bright, but you can kind of see the grid lines and all that. So yeah, I got the paper ready. I just need to get the story figured out. So I do like the idea that being kind of like a story like that where Beast Boy teaches Raven about family and all that. And remind her that she does have a family. She has a family in the Titans, and just like he does. What about being dead? Just get them out there. One day, we'll see. Maybe I'll post a few. I think I only. Maybe I'll just only post like the more story-driven ones that I had. But there's a lot of things I would have changed, like looking back. Like there's some things I kind of story-wise I would have probably done differently nowadays. But oh, and I also got a little bit done on the because a couple of months ago I actually started writing a little synopsis or what I would do for a proper Bumblebee movie sequel. I haven't really gone around to it too much lately, but the initial plan or idea I had in mind was kind of interesting. Which I'm not too sure if I'll be able to finish that little story I had in mind, but I'll tell about it here. So it was mostly, the thing is, like, it was not really fully fleshed out just yet, like the idea for the story, but I had some ideas in mind, a few plot points in mind. And the only thing I really got figured out was like the opening scene of the film, which I think if you're about to read it out, I think a lot of fans big G1 fans would be very, very happy because I had a lot of really cool moments in it. Yeah. We want to test in that challenge and improve so you can better tell stories with characters that mean something to you. Four Shoes, Diana and Bruce, yeah. Like the storyline was going to be, because the whole Transformers Bumblebee movie sequel rewrite, if you will, because I was really disappointed with the way the films went, obviously, with Rise of the Beasts, which we will not talk about today. But the story was going to show how Prime actually got to Earth in that film. So, like, or how he got out of that situation he was in with the Decepticons in the flashback scene. And so it was going to and the way it was going to go down is that Prime was going to be kind of neck deep in a battle with Soundwave, Shockwave, and a bunch of other Decepticons. And he was going to get overwhelmed, but then he was going to get rescued by Jetfire, who was going to basically come in and kind of rescue Prime. And he kind of takes him away from the battlefield, and he kind of takes him to like a secluded area of Icon, or kind of like a very like desolate place because it's during the war, near the end of the war, so obviously it's going to be very desolate. And they were going to be aided by, and at one point they were going to be chased down by Starscream, but then they were assisted by the aerial bots. So they were going to make a cameo in the story. And it gets better. It's better. So I have to remember. I don't have this with me at the moment, but basically they go to this facility and it's being run by Dion from the original G1 cartoon, who was kind of Optimus Prime's like best friend from before he was Optimus Prime, when it's Orion Pax. Now, unfortunately, Dion doesn't really make it. Spoiler alert. But yeah, so basically they are trying to launch like one last sort of ship out of Cybertron to get to Earth, or to meet up with the other Autobots. Well, I think that what was it? I think I had Prime like give the order to Jetfire and the aerial bots that they were going to go and rally up the other Autobots around the galaxy while he goes to Earth, like where he rally up with Bumblebee and all them, because that was kind of the plan in the Bumblebee movie. So we're kind of going to stick with the script there. And then before they can launch, however, that's when Megatron shows up and the Decepticons are all kind of attacking and all that. And so there was going to be a fight with Prime and Megatron. There was going to be a fight with Megatron and Superion. That was going to happen. And there's going to be a fight with Megatron and Dion at one point, which ended up getting Dion killed. Everybody did not get killed. They just got really damaged, though, in the fight with Megatron. I think I wrote to where like Megatron like blows up the leg joints, and that's what kind of separates the team, and they have to kind of retreat. But yeah, that was a really cool. I thought that'd be a really cool scene to have, like really show Megatron's power in that. And then, but what ends up saving out, but Dion kind of dies, kind of rescuing Optimus. Like, I think I had it where like he grabs like a grenade or something like that, and he like kind of throws it at like a support beam, and then it kind of like hits Megatron, and it kind of disables him for a little bit, allowing Prime to kind of escape. But obviously Megatron survives it, and then we see Prime kind of leave Cybertron with the aerial bots and Jetfire, and they all kind of go their separate ways. And then, yeah, and obviously it kind of ends with him giving Shatter and Dropkick the order to go to Earth and whatnot to follow the other Autobots escaping. So that was kind of the initial plan, at least for the opening scene. And then and I just had like a few plot points for the story going forward. Like I think I was gonna have crap, only 12 o'clock. Jesus, I got this hair going. But just some initial plot points. I brought a lot from More Than Meets the Eye, the very first couple episodes. I was going to want, because I wanted to have like an oil rig fight scene. I wanted to have a fight scene on a dam. I wanted to have. I think I had the city battle in mind, but I'm not too sure if I'd be committing to it. It's just one of those things. Haven't really touched the script in a little while. It's been a couple months, so I really figured that all out. But there's just some initial plans, ideas in mind. I was thinking about I was going to do one of two ways. I was either going to bring leave Charlie out of the story and just have it be Spike and Sparkplug as the main story, but also kind of playing with the idea of having bringing back or the idea of bringing in Charlie and all of them, as well as the original G1 human cast. But I don't know. That was one of the ideas I wasn't really fully sure on just yet, you know. Because and the way I was going to kind of have them bring Charlie back would be to kind of have it be where maybe the Decepticons discover like maybe they find Shatter and Dropkick's remains like in a human facility or whatever, and then they kind of tap into their memory banks and they kind of learn that Bumblebee was assisted by the human character, so they go and kidnap her, and then you have that be where the Autobots kind of come back, where Bumblebee and Charlie kind of reunite and stuff like that, like into the story of it all and stuff like that. So the most important things, which are that they are More Than Meets the Eye and Robots in the Sky. It's like, yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh, and also would have developed Burns, like John Cena's character, a bit more. I would have had him kind of be like kind of the liaison for the Autobots, essentially. Not in the sense where it's like he kind of gets discharged from the military because he refuses to go against the Autobots, and so the Autobots are kind of being hunted. So the Autobots are kind of being very, very low key. They're very trying to stay away from humans. Not in the same way that they were in the Rise of the Beast, because apparently in the deleted scene they kind of show that Prime was. Or they were being hunted, and so Prime had a very, very distasteful view of humanity. And that was not going to be the case at all for. Excuse me, was not going to be the case at all for my script. Like it was going to be more because Prime would be more understanding. He's a very understanding being, so he would understand why the humans are hunting them, because it's like they're just acting out of fear. It's like they're big ass robots. Of course they're gonna be afraid of us. So we should respect them and just try to stay away from them unless we have to help them or whatever. And so the whole idea was going to be about this whole movie is about him but the Autobots kind of warming up to humanity, or humanity warming up to the Autobots, learning to accept them and all that. But yeah, that was kind of like the initial idea that I had in mind. Yeah, let's get this costume going. So we didn't spend too much time there. All right, so I think I'm gonna go with a purple hat, just like I did with the Raven. And I'll grab more purples. Real quick. All right. Wait, you know what? I might as well grab the. No, just a minute. So I have my pinks here. I might as well do the eyes real quick as well. Just get it all out of the way. Yeah, I can't remember which Autobots was going. I think I was going to, because like and I was kind of going by which Autobots I think would be the best fit, because there was originally 7 Autobot meteorites coming down in the Mommy movie at the very end there. So I was kind of thinking, well, obviously with that, some from the Cybertron scenes, so Ironhide's going to be part of it, Ratchet, Brawn, RC, Wheeljack. And so I think I included either Hound, Jazz, or Prowl. That was one of those ones I had. It's the other Autobots. So, although honestly, if I was doing the movies from the get-go, I would have just about the entire. Well, if I was doing the movies, I'd probably do mostly just season 1 Autobots and Decepticons, and then kind of branch out to season 2, 3 characters. I think that'd probably be the best way to go if I was in the films. But since I was kind of working with the Bowman movies story, I kind of just opted to do the 7 or I guess 9 because you have Bumblebee already on Earth and stuff like that. Almost went to Jinx because of the hairstyle. Yeah. Yeah, I was not too sure what to do with the hair at first, but then I was like, let's do that. Let's just have it where the hat actually aligns with the hair. So that's what we did. Let's add our purple highlights here. Supposed to have purple and black. Purple highlights for the black parts of the costume. Just add them real quick. Let's fill it in. Just add a little bit of highlight of the pinks. You want to have a glow almost around her. I mean, the hair shapes of a witch hat, a cowgirl hat. Yeah. Yeah, we'd also have Little One from Juno, Yarn, Chromia, and the yeah. That'd be cool too. Let's see Little One in the G1 setting or on Earth because we don't really get aside from the Spark cartoon, but we're talking about that show. But we never really see the Alita 1 on Earth very often. Because she was just on Cybertron in the one episode she was in. You never know what happens to her afterwards. Although actually Alita 1 was supposed to actually get a name drop in Transformers Prime, where it was in the Stronger Faster episode where Ratchet's kind of experimenting with that synthetic energon. And it's kind of causing him to go crazy a little bit crazy. And in that scene where he kind of rants at Prime for being too soft, he was going to kind of he was going to bring up Alita 1, like how Prime didn't save her or whatever, and then Prime was going to punch him or something like that in the original script or original idea. But thankfully that was scrapped from the script, from the original cut, where Prime was just like, Because Prime would never do that. He would never assault one of his Autobots, no matter what they said. You know, he's always, you know, someone who's very level-headed, very, very compassionate, and you know, I love that whole episode too, where Prime isn't really holding anything against Ratchet, even though he's being a jackass in that episode a little bit. Like he's like he realizes he's just acting out of, you know, he just knows that he's just, you know, reacting the way he is, or because he understands like because like, the whole reason why behind him experimenting on himself with the Energon was because he felt like he wasn't doing enough, and Prime really immediately kind of picked up on that, which I really liked about him in that episode, where he's like he immediately knows that something's wrong with him, and he knows exactly why he feels that way. And then he kind of reassures him at the end, where he's like, you know, there's more important things than fighting. You know, we need a warrior in the laboratory more than we need one in the field right now. You know, just because you're not on the field doesn't mean you're not making a difference. Yeah, that sort of thing. So, hey, Castle, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Black real soon. Hey, did I already feel okay? Yep, I did. All right, just make sure. Couldn't remember if I did that last weekend. Maybe in a minute. I'll use them right now. There we go. All right. Now add some black to the pad here. Just gonna add to the shading. There's still a little bit on the tips here, not too much. Don't want to get too tipsy. Okay, well, I have my pinks here actually. I'm going to go ahead and do her eyes. And she has pink eye, so to speak. Not actually pink eye, but you know. I never know. I never know these Titans, these kids, these teenagers. And we'll add a darker. We'll add the V15, I think. Yeah. With the lips. A little bit to the hair, not too much. Just add little strides here. VO8, kind of blend the hat or the blacks into the hat a bit more. Or the purples, rather. All right. Okay, that should be good enough. Fill in some areas here. Bring back the vibrance just a little bit, and then we'll move on. We'll kind of leave these highlighted areas for a little bit until we get the background started. Ah! Went too far. It's all good. We saw it. Y'all took the Men in Black thing. And so for the center thing, making black for the middle of it. Let's see. What's your color scheme? Maybe something. No. Maybe a brown. Maybe. I was thinking black, but maybe a brown would be good here. A really dark brown. Stands out a bit more. Bring in some copper. Just kind of add a reddish sort of brown to it. There we go. Yeah. All right. Then I'll add some black. We'll kind of blend it in a minute. Just add some shadows here. And bring back the copper once more. A little bit darker shade there. Just put that out. All right. And while we're here, I might look at the little necklace there. We'll go for this color. Just be a little bit different. Okay. Now we move on to the little purple dress thingy on her shoulders. So okay, the same purple we did last time. Then we'll add some pinks just for some highlighted effects. What those with pink? Exactly. Okay, some darker shades going. All right. It's a little bit far up. High up here. There we go. Good. We got the fluorescent purple. You know what? Let's go anyway. Like the highlights, the way it's turning out there. All right. I think that's good. Okay. Oh, and her little buttons. Yeah, her little buttons are purple as well. Yeah. Okay, let's be very wary of those parts of her body, so to speak. Cover black and just kind of start by filling in our shadows and then kind of build up the rest of her as we move on. All right. Okay, and bring back some purple. A little bit like last time we did Jinx. Try to mix the colors together. Just turn around. I'm going to be using a lot of purple and blacks as well, and pinks and stuff like that for next week's stream. So we're doing the Tamaranian Witches of Starfire and Blackfire next weekend. Then, which is fully inked now. I finished inking that one. All ready for colors, so we'll just need to get the group shot fully inked sometime this week. Already got a head start on that, but there's still a lot I need to do. So far, I just have Beast Boy and I think I have Beast Boy and Robin so far. So I haven't really gotten to a little bit done on Starfire, a little bit done on Cyborg, and a little bit done on Raven, but not too much. We'll get to it. But yeah, so I think for the Christmas piece in particular, sorry, it's been really focused here. Before I do the Christmas Titans piece, I think I'm just gonna have like a basic sort of group shot. So I'm thinking about doing other characters, other themes as well for Christmas. Because last year I did last year I just did Bombi and RC for Christmas. So not too sure what I'll be doing. And I haven't fully decided what I'll be doing for next month. So I might be really busy with work. But flying is not my strong suit. Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to make plans with your art because like you never know how long something's going to take, and then it's just like, especially when you already have a bunch of projects already lined up. But yeah, definitely do like the idea of doing that little comic strip or something like that. So I might do that for next year. So this year I think we should keep it very, very simple. But definitely next year we'll do like a little comic. Maybe we could do like a page a day, or maybe for Christmas we could do like a couple pages per day or something like that. That could probably make up the whole month of draw streams. So maybe we'll do something like that. All right. The Tamarind, which is yeah. All right, I think we're done with Jinx almost. Just gonna do a little thing here, but I might just do that for last. Okay, so let's start with the cauldron. We'll start with black, a dark brown. Then we'll kind of work into a black. Or no, start with black, and we'll throw some browns into it later. Do the rim. Oops. There. And I think we'll go for a green for the pool of ooze dripping out here. That's what we'll do here. Or we'll kind of do a mix of different colors. We'll see. Yeah, pinkish green or something like that. We can do that. But yeah, originally I actually had ideas to kind of draw in like maybe on this side I'd have like Kid Flash and Cyborg, and then on this side have Mammoth and Gizmo. But I just didn't really have enough time to really plan that out. So we're just gonna do the solo piece for today. Maybe next time. Maybe if I do a variant of this or something, we can do that or something. Or in like the pot here, it'd be kind of funny, like being tortured or what have you, whatever Jinx has planned. I'm going to leave the cauldron, the rest of the cauldron for last. I want to do the stuff here first, because I got to draw the rest of the ooze dripping out first and foremost. I'm just going to do that first because I'm match it up with the cauldron a bit more. Just all the little shadows popping out there. It's not like the green. So it'll really pop a bit more than the pinks. I think it'll really pop out more, especially because you have the pink and the purples here. And green's kind of close to a yellow color, so I think it helps kind of. It's very. As purple and yellow are complementary colors, it's very kind of helps the green. So things to consider when coloring. Really helps make it go a long way. Like that. Just like that. And just shadow there. Shadow around the edges. And kind of fill in the pools a bit. I actually kind of had a little bit of a transparent sort of a vibe here with some of the lines here. Which is kind of like an accident, which is kind of something I had to do because I made a mistake earlier, or when I first inked this thing. So I was like, oh, well, let's do a little. Except I accidentally went too far with my ink line for like the wooden table behind. So kind of fucked it up. So I just had to turn it into a happy accident. Say, oh, well, let's make it transparent then. Fix my mistake there. Right. Yep. Add some yellow. Kind of add a vibrancy to the colors here. Might bring an orange in a second. Okay. Grab this guy. Just adding little squiggles, different colors to kind of make it more vibrant, make it pop more. Add a slightly darker color, just for some minor spots here. Just for the shadows here. And grab orange. Just kind of go over that color with this. I think my guy's dying on me again. Yeah. Refill for this guy. G03. Okay. Refill time. It's the first time all day doing a refill. It's kind of impressive. All right. Let's stick you in, so to speak. Get that juice. Yeah. Make one more. Good. I think the tip needs a little attention, so to speak. There we go. Just like to roll around, don't you? All right. There we go. Add some pinks now. Just a little bit, not too much. Really good too. Thanks, dude. Yeah. It's a little bit junky, the line work, but I couldn't find an oval shape that was big enough. Didn't really fit the original ink, so I had to kind of be able to try to kind of freehand it in the end. But hopefully people don't really notice too much. All right. There's some more yellow. Yeah. And more gray. And it's done for now. We'll grab some greens. You kind of start edging away, like kind of like adding away into the cauldron. That way we have a more natural sort of transition into the blacks. Moving forward, so we already have that side already kind of taken care of now. Which I might need this guy. Let's see. And just around this guy, so we need to find. Same on this side. Okay. This guy. Just trying to use a bluish green to kind of transition over into blacks for the rest of the cauldron. We'll get to that. Hopefully it all works out. Kind of making up as I go along here. If all else fails, let's go all black. All this, it won't be too difficult to fix. If we do have any problems here. Not an easy shape, yeah. Yeah, it's because like the templates I was using didn't really fit like the shape out I drew originally. So it was kind of a difficult thing to kind of manage when I was freehanding it. But yeah. What can you do? I think I'll do just like a dark brown after this. Let's see. Okay, let's bring some blacks and make this one make sense. All right. So we're just going to go over all this white area. Yeah, shit. Yeah, I think I fucked it up already. Just going black. Just going to go black for all of it. Or we'll do. Okay. I think once I finish the cauldron, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. Hey, Deadman. How's it going, man? Good to see you. And then we'll kind of come back and do the rest of the background. I'm holding this in for a little while. All right. So now we'll just go in with the brown. Tidy her up. Kind of fucked up. But it's okay. So you learn from my mistakes here. Most of the time. The handles. The rim. Get out of my way. Excellent. Oh, all right, got the little handle there. There we go. Okay, that should be good enough for now. We can tidy up the cauldron a little bit later. We have to. I was like run to the bathroom real quick, and then we'll get started on the table, the little wand or whatever, and then the rest of the background, and then hopefully we can wrap this up in hopefully by 3. Hopefully by 3. If not, something around that time. So be right back. I'm gonna place like a little clip. Let's see. That was kind of a long clip, to be honest. Yeah. I'll do my T, do my T times 1. It's the longest one I have. I need to get more clips up on here for these little breaks here, but I'll see you guys in just a minute. Hopefully.
Excellent, Robin. I'm pleased. You're already proving to be the perfect apprentice.
This deal can't last forever.
It can, and it will. The Titans still have no idea that my chronoton detonator was more than a decoy. Now that my probes are inside their bodies, they could remain undetected for years, decades. Unless, of course, you disobey me, and I decide to destroy your former friends, with a push of the button.
Sooner or later, you'll let your guard down. I will get that controller, and the instant they're out of danger, you will pay.
That sounds like a threat, young man. Quite a good threat, actually. Betrayal, destruction, revenge. We really do think alike. I monitored your vital signs during the mission. Elevated heart rate, adrenaline, endorphins. You won't admit it, but at some level, you enjoyed stealing from me. It was a thrill, wasn't it? You're going to keep stealing, Robin. And you're going to keep getting that thrill. And sooner or later, you will see things my way. Who knows? I might even become like a father to you.
I already have a father.
All right, we're back. Browns. An art stream, not a chair stream. Yeah. Well, everyone hates my chair, so I don't think I want a chair stream. Old ass chair. It squeaks all the time. You know, if I squeak enough, I think Squeaka will come. Squeaka Mouse will show up at some point. All right, I tried summoning her, but she hasn't shown up yet. But you know what? I think that somewhere in the world she heard the squeak sound. She knows that I'm live. Now she's run to her desk, or she's out at the supermarket, heard that noise, and was like, I need to go see Megatron. Hey. All right. There goes Slade, exactly. Yeah. It's the longest clip I have, so that's why I had to play it. I really should have gotten some Jinx clips, but I didn't have time, or I just forgot. You know, really update my clips in my StreamYards at some point. So we'll probably do it for next year. Much broader sort of thing to work with. It should be good enough. A little bit of a black just to emphasize the shadows a bit more. And right. Just lightly erase away the little pencil lines for the X things. Get to that in a minute. We'll start with we'll do like a beige table here. Not contrast well. Start with that. So grays as well. Warm grays are pretty good for. Gosh, I need to clean my fucking mess on. My little container. Here. I'll just move all my purples and greens and pinks in here. Probably use them again in the background, but it's sad. My grays. Important. All right, cleaned up just a little bit. Probably bring it back a little bit later. Maybe I'll do the same sort of smoky background. We'll see. Kind of similar, a little bit similar to how we did the what's it called? A raven we did the other day. You do not get in my way. Jesus. Got one job, markers. Okay. 11. Here, it's down on me. I think you need a refill. B5 marker. The kid. All right. So a little bit of this guy. Then bring another shade of warm gray. Get a slightly darker one. Yeah. This kind of works. Okay. All right. Grab the W7. That should be good enough for now. Yeah, sound like it. I usually don't like my piece until it's all detailed up at the very end. Oh, the way it works. And I think I'll put grade 3. Bring back some of the beige colors now. Bring back the E31. So a little bit of yellow into it. And that'll do it for now. Okay, so the background going. So effect. wherever it was cold. I think what we'll do get summer. All right. I think I know what I want now. Just using a chisel tip, a little extra squiggly digglies, squiggly digglies, whatever. Just add a little bit of extra character to the magic, or what have you, encircling her. I think we'll have like a little purplish, pinkish sort of background. I think that's maybe what we do here. Pink. Her face, skin. She gotta remember to get her earrings in a minute. I'll go black. The earrings there, the hoops. They'll work the best. Or I think maybe we should do like a darker background, like kind of lead into a darker sort of a shade here, like a brownish color. Or trying to say green on. Here, let's start with this. My towels. And spill over. And what's the dead one? Oh, all right. There we go. Do very quickly do this. This will help us get in. Yeah, I think it needs a darker color for the back of her. It's Halloween, so it should have like a dark vibe. we'll start with a sepia. Just kind of go around all the black areas here. And then I think we'll add some pinks around it. I think that'll look really sharp. That'll kind of help her really out. I like that stuff actually. Shit. Maybe. A little pink aura around her. There we go. I think we're getting somewhere. Ouch, in my way. Just keep my pinks, and purples, and my browns, and my greens. So get rid of the grays, get rid of the Pentel. Yeah, more. Oh, you fucking all right. Not too concerned if I get into the hair here, because I'll be whiting, doing a little white sort of outline in a minute. Finding a lighter shade of pink, just kind of ease into the whites a bit more. Make it look more gluey. It's kind of like just kind of like how I did the Raven a little bit with the pink around it. I think it works for both. Maybe that'll blend in a minute. We get darker shade real quick, and we'll kind of bring the lighter. We'll add to the edges here a bit more. I might need to touch up the table the more I look at it. It's a little too bare. Some shadow work or something there. Do that later. We get the bulk of it all colored up. There, just tilt it up just a little bit. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. This should be till just a little more. There we go. There we go. Much better angle. Add some extra pinks to the green here. Got a few extra shades. So. Oh shit! I just realized I went over the X. Oh, well, we'll fix that when we get to the Tombows. Or not the Tombows, the Poscas and the whiteout. Oh well. We're getting there. We're getting there. I think. Dude, this guy's dying on me too. What the fuck's going on? All right. Make it work. Add some green light coming onto her, so to speak. It's on her hair. Make her pop a bit more. Which I kind of like the green skin look almost here. The lighting effect here on Jinx. So maybe I should have gone that direction there. The Gecko just made her whole green witch stuff. Not sure we'll do that for if we'll do that for Blackfire and Starfire next weekend, but kind of like the little hints of green on Jinx here. It's kind of working. Do a little bit on the eyes. A little bit on the hat. Too much. Just indicate a little bit of light kind of popping out. I'm gonna do some green around. Ooh, yeah, I like this actually. I like the green around her. Instead of the white. Yeah. Much better. YGO3. Just to emphasize the green around her a bit more. I think I'll do purple for the earrings. I'm gonna put the one black. That real quick. Before I forget. And just the shadow almost. There we go. A bit of a deeper purple to the target areas here. Nope. Blend it in with 12. I think that'll be it for the background up in here at least. Just want to add a few extra colors to the green. Maybe a bluish green. Or teal color. Yeah. Okay. I just want to grab the desk here. It's a little bit too light. Neutral gray. Darken up a little bit. Okay. That should be good enough. That should be good enough. All right. I think that's good. I'm not sure if these guys are popping out as much as I want them to. I'm gonna add a little bit extra green on the edges a bit more or something. Yeah. I think we'll do that when we get to the Oscars. Yeah, we'll just tie that up there. Okay, I think we're good enough there. Okay, that area there. I think we do the final touches now. Do a little details to the Pashkas because I think I'm pretty much good to go here. With that, leave it away for now. Got to fix up the X there as well. Originally thought to change up the necklace because I think in the cartoon it's like an oval shape, but I think we're just gonna leave it as is. Don't worry too much about it. The little detail. Not really work. Going in. Completely redoing it. Alright. Purple, green, yellow. Yeah. White out. Find it. Thanks, dude. Up and everything. This should be good. It's like gunfire almost. In the background of something. I got it. All right. Okay, let's get to the Poshkas. A little strand into the hair. Got some white. Yeah, I like this guy. Pop a bit more. Watch it down. Okay. I gotta do something about this hex over here. We'll start with some white out. Or not. So I think the white out. There we go. Sorry about the dry. And then, yeah, we're almost done here actually. Let me try how much I can do. Got little squiggles. Just add a little bit extra detail. And there's some more work on the cauldron here. Okay, and then you know what? Some grays. Yeah, something to kind of help pop out the cauldron just a bit. So it might work. Just a little bit. Hey, Corey. How's it going, man? We're just about to wrap this up, actually. Almost done. Almost done. Just gotta do some little touch-ups here and there. All right, a little bit of that. This is being a level month. This is being a level up month. Yeah. Got lots to do this month because we got to do the Beast Bowl, or the no Beast Bowl. We just did that one. We do the Starfire and Blackfire next weekend. So yeah, got a lot to do. Got a little bit of a highlight here. Just tidy up these guys here. They're dry enough. All right. I think I'm good to go. This one. I think I'm not much else to do here. I think it's pretty much done. Not really my favorite out of the two I've done so far for the Halloween, but definitely it's all right. It's all right. So yeah, there's Jinx. There's our witch Jinx. Oh, you need to do a quick signage, and then we can kind of head out. So, maybe Sharpie. Yeah. It's kind of dull. Yeah. And date is okay. Well, let's forget the date my work. So just want to do that real quick. Bubbling over is nice. Yeah. So it's like kind of drifting from here down the table and then up into the background. And same thing with this guy here. Yeah. That's kind of like the general idea. But yeah, there's our little Jinx. So obviously for next weekend, pour out or pull them out, so to speak. But we got our Starfire and Blackfire ready to go. They're all inked up. And then next weekend, the team up shot that I'm working on. So full groups coming along. Got the faces at least started. For most of them, still need to do Starfire, but got Cyborg, Robin, and Beast Boy just got to their hands. And the extra little details in the background and all that, and then we can kind of move along. For the last, this will be the last stream of the month. But yeah. So I gotta get that finished up, which probably won't take too long. Probably only take a couple days to finish up the inks, and then Tamarind and Witches, yes, that'll be for next weekend. So on that note, I think I'll see you guys later and get us a clip to end us off on. But first, I want to say thank you to Grumpy, Power, Corey, Dadman, Castle. Everybody gets noticed. I saw CJ. Yep, CJ's there, and yeah. I got it, buddy. On that note, let's get us a clip, and I will see you guys around. So let's see. You know what? Since we are doing Blackfire and Starfire next weekend, I think we'll do the Blackfire Starfire clip. So on that note, I will see you all later, and yeah.
I always was the better fighter. Not anymore.
Blackfire of Tamaran, you are under arrest.
Farewell, sister. Although you did betray and attack me, it was still very nice to see you. Next time it won't be so nice. I will get out of jail, little sister, and I will get even.
Hey, how are you doing?
I am sad for my sister.
And for yourself?
I am just glad that the truth was discovered before I was replaced.
What are you talking about?
Well, everyone was having such fun with her, and then Cyborg said...
Look, your sister was interesting, but she could never take your place. No one could ever take your place.
The Transformers will return after these messages.